order.
Oh, what's up, y'all? I didn't even know I was already on screen. My bad. I was watching TikTok. Okay. I hope that song wasn't playing too long to get this video not monetized. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hey. Happy Sunday. Y'all come on in. Somebody was snoring, but I think I woke them up. The prince was snoring, but I think I just woke him up. Okay. Thanks, Chuck. Thank you, guys. So we are here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 reunion part. Ooh, this puppy is a mess. Anyway, part 2. We are here for part 2 of the reunion. Look, y'all. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Can I say something? Listen, so I have my little notes here, right? And can I tell y'all how I really tried? I really tried with you, Shamia. I did. I really did. But Shamia, we're going to get there. But y'all know I hate when people make me agree with people that I don't, well, I ain't going to say I don't dislike Portia. But y'all know how I feel when people make me agree with people. And I have to agree with, we're going to get there. But I'm going to have to agree with where Portia came at the end of this. But I'm going to get there. So we start off where we left off last week. We have Portia. See, I said Portia. We have Phaedra and Angela. Oh, and I do have a goal set. If we hit the goal, I'll drop the link. I got a little bit of time. But if not, it's okay. You know, it's all good. So we have Phaedra and Angela. Listen, I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time with this anymore, only because I already told y'all how I feel about this. I feel like, Angela, you got caught up in some bull hockey. And at the end of the day, I just believe Phaedra's innocent on this. I think that Marcus and Alex set this up, and Angela, you got caught in the matrix. I just really think that's what it is. I don't think Angela set Phaedra up, and I don't think Phaedra set Angela up. I think these two outside forces came into this. That's how I feel about it. Now, Phaedra called her brother. Her brother said, I don't know these people. And then Angela was like, well, of course. I mean, that's your brother. Of course, that's what he was going to say. It doesn't, listen, girl, Angela, let it go. Just, Lock Queen, you know what? Let me put Lock Queen comment up here because that is where I am right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I am confused at the amount of lies. I'm lost in the lies, okay? That is how I feel. It brings me to a New Edition song. I'm lost in lies. That is how I feel. Because everybody was lying. Just from the beginning to the end. Scene felt like the Keystone Cops. It was a mess. It was a whole mess. Angela, Kelly. So they caught Kelly in the lie. Kelly said that she never said certain things to Angela. And y'all know how production is. They rolled that beautiful beam footage back and come to find out, Kelly, girl, you said exactly what Angela said you said. But in the grand scheme of things, child, don't nobody care. You would want her talking about some, you remind me of me when I was married and I just don't want you to end up being like me and look out. Well, listen, girl, at the end of the day, listen, the ladies can say whatever the ladies want to say. Two things, in my opinion, are going on here. Two things are going on here. The first thing is these women are miserable. Can we just listen? Can we just call a thing right now? These women, relationship-wise, are miserable. Now, they might be happy with they may have money in the bank. They may have designer clothes in their closet. They may drive a nice-ass car. But relationship-wise, these women are miserable. And Angela, you are one of the few people on this show that is in a healthy relationship and they don't know what to do with that. Okay, that's number one. And number two, I think some of them really do think that Charles is not faithful to you. Now the reality is he might not be. I don't know. I don't live in their house. Angela said she lost the property, but we found that out. We already knew that. She said that, that they would get the foreclosure notices. She said she was spending $100,000 a month just keeping up with everything with those properties, and she just basically let them go. She said it also coincided with losing her mother, it was sort of sudden. And so she said, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't an issue. Now, what we found out at the finale was, I think she sold a couple of the properties, and then I think they said she lost two of the properties, and then the ones that she sold, I don't think she sold them for a profit. Listen, it's an expensive lesson that you learn, but it's a lesson learned. The thing about being an entrepreneur is everything doesn't come out and be successful. And I'm not saying that flippantly. And I've said this to you guys before. I remember Diddy posting one time, and I know Diddy probably, but it is what it is. I remember Diddy posting one time. He said people don't post their failures. And the thing about being an entrepreneur, it is hard. You're going to hit and miss. Your husband tried to tell you didn't want to listen. Lesson learned. The great thing is that you're in a position where you can afford to learn that lesson, and you still have a home. You still have a car to drive. Your kids are still taken care of. Yes, you lost some money. You learned a very expensive lesson, but everybody can't take that hit. Everybody can't take that lesson in and still maintain their lifestyle. You can. So, it is what it is. And I hate, again, I don't want anybody to think I'm saying that in a flippant way, because I'm not. I'm not being flippant at all. But what I am saying is, thank God you were in a position that you could absorb it, because everybody can. Okay. After her correction video with Charles didn't seem very healthy, Charles needs to blink if he's okay. Child. Listen. I think that's their relationship. Everybody, listen, everybody ain't made for TV. And I just think I honestly think that is their relationship. I think that's who they are. Do I think Charles loves her? I do. I think Charles loves her. Um, but everybody don't need to bring their life on TV because everybody won't understand it. Everybody won't understand their dynamic. You know what I mean? Do I think Angela was a great housewife? Minus this last little snafu at the end, I think she had a really great season. And again, even what happened at the end is a lesson learned, right? These scammers are gonna come along. This isn't the first time we've seen people try to get on TV and tell a lie so they can have some camera time. It's not the first time this has happened. I think this might be one of the biggest examples of how big the lie got. But I'm sure we could think of other shows where people, I mean, it happened on, well, actually, not take that back. I think Salt Lake City was the biggest. It happened on Salt Lake City where you had people, sliding in the DMs. And then not only was this woman sliding in the DMs and trolling the cast, she managed to actually get on the show and become a full-time cast member. Monica Garcia was a whole troll and was lying to these women and sliding in their DMs and telling them stories, and somehow did all of that and then managed to get on the show. So I think Monica Garcia holds the crown when it comes to that. But this is not the first example of somebody trolling these women. Some of them are just better at vetting the information than others. So Angela, you learned a hard lesson with that as well. Angela Oakley was doing too much on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Part 2, look up Phaedra Parks' family. Was wrong, Angela, for a brand new housewife. Okay. Blame production. The ladies need to have some real ish right. Follow it. Wait a minute. Need to have some real ish right. Follow it. Don't be on the show if you're. Baby, I don't know what you're saying, V Spencer. I think you were typing real fast. Because it looked like some typos and I'm not understanding. Sometimes I know autocorrect, and sometimes I can fix in my mind, but I don't understand what you're saying right there, and I don't want to say it wrong, okay? Didn't Angela say there was an incident of cheating, but they were, yeah, she said he cheated in the past, yep. She's been very candid about that they cheated in the past. There go my girl, SCK, what's she saying? After her correction, oh, I just read that already. Okay. All right. So there's that. Drew didn't. Oh, then they said that she said she felt like Drew did not have her back. At the Bailey Q and the night of the finale, I think Drew had her back. I think Drew was with her through that whole process. But now at the Bailey Q, yeah, Drew, you did kind of leave her hanging, girl. You did kind of leave her hanging, talking about you had to protect your mental health and you couldn't get in that. Yeah, you did kind of leave her hanging. Excuse me, y'all, but at the end of the day, child, it is what it is. So then I wrote Phaedra, Britt, advice portion. Okay, so they were talking. So then they got on the whole Britt of it all with Phaedra and Britt, and how Phaedra sort of took Britt on, like as a little sister when they were down in Grenada. And Portia has become such a pick me with Phaedra. And again, here's the thing. I get it. Listen, people fall out, they make up. People fall out and they make up. That's all I can put with this, that they fell out and they made up, right? But she's talking about something. I don't think in the history of housewives we've ever seen a housewife give that kind of advice on camera. I mean, it was just such a great. I mean, she pulled me aside and Nene pulled me aside off camera and told me those things. But I mean, to do it on camera, I was like, I'm sorry, in the history of housewives, what? In the history of housewives, that was the best advice anybody ever gave on camera. Girl, stop. And I am with Angela when Angela was like, why are you so like after what this woman did to you, why are you so quick to just believe that she's not this person? Anyway, Yeah, I think that was the best advice anybody gave when Nene told your ass keep your hands to yourself. That them cameras were rolling. I think that was the best advice anybody gave you when Nene tried to lay on your ass on that damn reunion and told you get it together. I think that was the best advice somebody gave somebody on camera. Anyway, then they asked Phaedra about the Married to Medicine reunion and why she didn't show up. And she was like, I just didn't feel like I had anything else to give. Like those women didn't like me. They didn't want me around. Girl, what? Now I watched Married to Medicine. That's just not how I remember it. I remember you coming onto the show being a brand new cast member and the women really trying to include you and get to know you. You didn't give anything, you didn't share anything. You had fake storyline from the beginning. You came on there with a fake boyfriend, doctor, who we never saw because y'all conveniently broke up as soon as the camera started rolling, even though when production talked to you, you were dating a doctor. There was your connection to medicine. Then you became a Reiki, I don't know what the right word is, therapist, trainer, whatever the word is. And that was your connection to medicine. Then, and that was season 1. Then season 2, girl, you gave nothing. You gave absolutely nothing. And yes, they brought your ex-husband on the show. Sure they did. They sure did. But you opened up the door when you brought him to the reunion. Listen. And I know some of y'all ain't gonna like it. Ariki Healer, thank you, SEK. I couldn't think of the word. I know some of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say right now, and that's okay because I still love y'all. But baby, you opened up the door when you voluntarily brought him to the reunion. You voluntarily brought him to the reunion because you was trying to save your damn job. Nobody asked you to bring that man to the reunion. He's not even your current boyfriend, husband. At that point, y'all barely had a cordial ex-wife, ex-husband relationship. You said you wouldn't even let that man in the house when it was time for him to pick up the kids. He had to stand outside and wait for you to send the kids out. I don't think that is a let me not say that. Whatever works for y'all works for y'all. But what I'm saying is this: you opened the door. Now, was it messy as hell for them to try to bring him on the show? It absolutely was. It certainly was. It was messy as hell. And I don't think it was a great idea. But you wasn't giving them anything, Phaedra. So production trying to jumpstart a storyline with you? They were. Were they trying to get a reaction out of you? Were they trying to get something for you to probably be worth the money they were paying you? They were trying to do all of that. But at the end of the day, she had a 3-year contract with Married to Medicine. She wasn't worried about the job. SEK, and I hear what you're saying, my love. She said the same thing tonight about her contract being secure. Let me tell you something. When we have contracts, they always have the upper hand. And I know she's an attorney. Before y'all say, well, she's an attorney, she know what to look for. Baby, they could do a moralities clause on her. They could do, I'm sure that there's certain deliverables that she has to give in order to keep the contract valid. They can find, oh, well, she didn't do this, or she didn't do that. I mean, let's not forget that first season, Phaedra ain't give us shit. So at the end of the day, she felt desperate enough to bring her ex-husband on the damn reunion. And I hear what you're saying. She had a 3-year contract, but baby, ask some of them. Right, all contracts have loopholes in them, and the people that got the loopholes are the people writing the contract. And I understand she's a lawyer, but at the end of the day, the management always has the upper hand because the deliverable is on her end. They can always say it wasn't up to par. It wasn't what we asked for. It wasn't what we were told. She said, because let's not forget, she started with a lie. She started with a lie. She told him she was dating a doctor. She told him he would film for the show. He never signed the release to film for the show, which is why we never even saw his face. When they talked about him, they had to put a smiley face over that man's face. And then by the time the cameras were rolling, she was no longer dating him. They could have voided her contract based off of that. If that was part of the agreement, if that was how she was going to be connected to medicine. So I hear what you're saying, but baby, I said the woman need to have legit story to follow if they shouldn't film. having cast just to have them run mess back and forth, but not have any story of your own. Got you. Got you. So now we're acting like what happened on Married to Medicine didn't happen just because people don't like Phaedra. These women didn't like her. What is it that we're forgetting that didn't happen? Because I don't think I forgot anything that happened. I don't think I forgot about anything that happened. What did I forget? Right. Exactly. Let me put Nitwit up on the screen. Let me put Nitwit. Nothing happened to Phaedra that didn't happen to any of the rest of these women. We could think of a million reality shows where they bring. Look at what's on Married to on the Real Housewives of Miami. Stephanie literally dated Dr. Nicole's boyfriend, husband, fiance. Now, granted, Dr. Nicole decided not to come back, but I am certain that that was part of the reason why Stephanie was tapped to be on this season, because she has a connection to Dr. Nicole. We've seen it happen a million times. What did they do to Phaedra that hasn't happened a million times on a million different reality shows? Please tell me. Please tell me. You said she's lying about the fact that those women didn't like her. I don't think that that's where it started. I don't think it started off with them women not liking her. So no, is that where it ended? Maybe, but I don't think that's where it started. And it wasn't all of them. Was it Dr. Heavenly? Yeah, her and Dr. Heavenly definitely did not end in a good space. But she had a decent relationship with a few of the women on that show. I just don't think that that's where it began and where it ended. I don't think it began there. They didn't know her. They were trying to get to know her. Nobody, those women on the show didn't know Phaedra outside of moving in the same circles of Bravo television. None of those women had an established relationship with Phaedra. I think the closest was Quad. I think that was the closest relationship she had was with Quad. I don't think anything happened to Quad that doesn't happen to anybody. I think the problem was Quad came in there thinking I'm an OG and thinking she was immune to the hazing that was happening. Because that's all it was. I don't think they did anything to Phaedra that they wouldn't have done to anybody else. She didn't say that's where it began. Where did she lie? What did I say she lied? I don't remember saying she lied. I remember saying, and if I said she lied, then I don't know. But I remember saying that she's sitting there acting like, I don't see what it was. She said those women didn't like her. I stand by that. I don't think the whole cast of Married to Medicine disliked Phaedra. I stand by that. I don't believe that. Do I think she had a contentious relationship with some of those women? Sure. But I do not think that those women disliked her. Now, I wasn't there with those women every day. I didn't film with those women every day. But I don't think that they disliked her. I agree. I think she just didn't fit in. She just didn't fit in with them. But do I think that there was an act that I don't? I just don't. Look at how she changed her flight on season 10 to avoid flying with Quad and lie. Right. Like, we're not going to act like she didn't create situations. She did. We're not going to act like she didn't create situations. It was the lie about her dating the doctor. I think that's where they're talking about Really Be, but I'm not sure. Well, just she did lie. I mean, okay. Was she dating a doctor? Sure. But it was just convenient that they weren't dating when it was time to start filming. Whatever. Anyway, I ain't spending all this time on Phaedra. I feel how I feel. Y'all disagree, that's fine. And it's not because I just don't like Phaedra. I think at the end of the day, I don't think anything happened to Phaedra that didn't happen to the rest of that doesn't happen to the rest of these women. I just don't feel that way. Now, everybody can feel the way they feel, and that's fine. But I don't feel like anything special happened to Phaedra that didn't happen to the rest of those to women that come on reality TV. I ain't see it, but whatever. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me go get something to drink. Uh-oh. Ain't nobody bring you nothing. Nobody bought you nothing. Stay right there. You stay right there. You've been a good boy. You've been a good boy. You stay right there. Nobody bought you nothing. Sorry about that, y'all. So anyway, neither here nor there, y'all. And that's fine. Y'all, we can disagree, and that's fine, but it is what it is. Moving right along. Shamia is upset with Phaedra because she said she felt like her and Phaedra never made amends, and she doesn't feel like Phaedra ever sincerely apologized for putting those rumors out there about her. Now, here's where she might have left. I don't know if you left, boo. But here's where we might agree with this Phaedra thing. Shamia, girl, stop it. Shamia, stop it. Y'all, we went to Trader Joe's today, and I got me some sparkling water. This is tangerine vanilla. Ooh, that's delicious. That's delicious. Okay. Baby, I was like, what? Girl, see, and this is where I said at the end, I'm going to kind of agree with Portia. Phil, will you stop? I never said Shamia. Well, never is probably a strong word. I've been with you with the Shamia train. Phil, we've been with you on the Shamia train. We've been with you. But let me tell you something. Here's what I don't like. Here's what I don't like. And again, this is where I agree with Portia on some stuff. Girl, that was years ago. And if y'all talked about it, oh, pineapple is probably good too. If y'all talked about it and y'all cleared the air, why are we still having this conversation? And at the end of the day, you can't make somebody apologize the way you want them to apologize. If Phaedra apologized and it wasn't up to your standard, you got to find a way to move on. You can't make that woman apologize no different than the way she apologized. The way she already apologized, you can't make that woman apologize no different. Phil just needs vindication. I thought I'd already given Phil vindication. Oh, it's the others? Okay, Phil. Okay. Because the air isn't clear. But here's what I'm saying, though, Kim. I hear what you're saying. Anyway, that's what Shamia was saying. Shamia was like, the air isn't clear. Whatever Lord Portia, whatever Phaedra said, she didn't feel like the air was clear. My problem is, why was that never a conversation? See, here's the thing, and this is what I'm gonna say about this. If it still bothers you, then there needs to be a conversation. We good, Phil, boo, we good. And if we're not going to have a conversation, then I need you to let it go. So you're saying now mind you, we're at the season finale, part 2, and you're just articulating your issue. I understand Phaedra was only there for 2 weeks. I get it. She didn't film the whole season. But baby, y'all live in Atlanta and it has been years. And you're not going to sit here and tell me you ain't never been in the same room as Phaedra. You're not going to sit here and tell me you couldn't have had a conversation with Phaedra. You're not going to sit here and tell me that when you found out Phaedra was going to be on the show, you couldn't have said, hey girl, can we talk? It's the same thing you did with Portia, but we're going to get to that because we're going to get to the Portia of it all. But that's my issue. I have an issue with that. Here's the thing. You can say, but the air wasn't clear. That's fine. Then either A, because we grown, we're adults. Then either A, you pick up the phone and you call her and say, listen, girl, that thing still ain't sitting right in my spirit. I see you all the time. We move in the same circles. We have mutual friends. And I just don't want to feel uncomfortable around you. Can we have a conversation? Or you find a way to make peace with it. That's how I feel about it. I mean, people may disagree and that's fine, but that's how I feel about it. Hold on. If we have a convo, agree to move on from something, I don't expect you to go behind and bite my back. Either we're good or we're not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Either we good or we not. Like if we had a conversation and that still don't sit right in your spirit, then we need to have another conversation. But if we gonna move on and it's been years, I need you to find a way to process that. I just need you to find a way to process that. That's just me. Because Phaedra never really takes accountability. You needing me to let it go for you. I can be nice, etc., but I will never treat you the same. And that's fine, Kim. I don't even think and that's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying for them to be friends. I'm not even saying for for Shamia and Phaedra to be friends. But especially now that you knew you were going to be working with her, I don't know. Anyway, because I have a lot more to say, but I'm going to wait till we get to the Portia part of it. Shamia's a people pleaser, and it's hard for her to express her feelings for fear of hurting someone's feelings. Shamia never had a chance to tell her story on the show. I think she needs to tell her side now that she's on the show. Well, what? She had a whole 17 weeks, Raven. When didn't she have time? She had a whole 17 weeks. Okay. They were in Grenada. You couldn't have pulled Portia aside in Grenada and had a conversation with her, whether it was on camera or off camera? Okay. Britt and Kelly. Hold on, I just wrote Britt and Kelly. Is this Kelly? Then I wrote Cynthia and Portia. Oh, Britt and Kelly. Oh, no, because that's not Kelly. That's Kenya. Lord, I can't read my own handwriting, y'all. That's Kenya. So they went through the whole Kenya and Kelly of it all. I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, I'm not. We have talked Kenya and Britt to death. And at this point, you either feel how you feel about it. You either feel about Kenya was justified because of the things that Britt said, or you feel like Britt was just at this. I'm not debating it no more. We have debated that thing for 6 months. I'm done with it. But I will say I find it interesting that Kenya is not speaking to Cynthia, but she's speaking to everybody else, and everybody else has something to say as well. And Cynthia says she stopped taking her calls, which tells me that Cynthia reached out to Kenya. Excuse me. Now, the one thing I will say, and I respect the hell out of it, is Cynthia stood 10 toes down. Cynthia said, listen, I'm not going to sacrifice my integrity for anybody. Like, she's my friend and I love her, but I don't like what she did. And I'm never going to justify or stand or tell my friend that I'm okay with something that what's she saying? That compromises my morals. She said, and Britt was absolutely wrong. So she did not justify one or the other, but I was okay with that. Kenya was closer to Cynthia than any of them. That's all the more reason for, well, again, I'm not debating it, child. Kenya has a right to feel how she feels, child. Kenya has a right to feel like Cynthia betrayed her or Cynthia didn't have her back, child. She got a right to feel that way, child. Because I ain't about to sit here. Because I'm exhausted with the topic. I'm exhausted with the conversation. Now, I do find it interesting. Andy read both comments, the comment from Kenya and the comment from Britt. And I find it interesting that, and maybe they edited it out for legal reasons, but I don't understand why we didn't spend more time on Britt saying that wasn't even her in those pictures. Because if I were, now the only thing they said was, oh, well, that makes sense because she didn't seem to be all that upset. We went out to eat after it happened and she just didn't seem to be all upset. But I just feel like if it were me, I feel like we need to spend more time on this. Now, for legal reasons, because, maybe Bravo edited it out after Britt claimed she was going to sue them. So maybe they edited certain things out after the fact. Maybe the conversation did last longer. But I was just like, why are we not spending more time on her saying, oh, yeah, by the way, that wasn't even me? Like, what? That was never Kenya's issue with Cynthia. It was Cynthia hanging with Britt and constantly taking Britt's side as if Britt wasn't also wrong about her part. Mm. Um. Okay. I don't remember it happening that way, but like I said, I'm done. I'm done debating it. I don't feel like Cynthia took up for Britt any more than anybody else did, but okay. Let's remember Cynthia proved Nene's point when Cynthia and Kenya were on the Ultimate Girls Trip. I don't remember that either. Y'all gotta listen. The Ultimate Girls Trip, that was 3 years ago. Y'all gotta refresh my memory. I don't remember what was said. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm with Chuck on that one. I don't remember a Cynthia Britt friendship. I didn't see Cynthia treat Britt any differently than the rest of the ladies did after it first happened. But again, maybe it just comes down to the fact that Kenya was closer to Cynthia and had a different expectation. I don't know, but it is what it is. Kenya was wrong on the Ultimate Girls Trip. I thought Kenya was wrong on the Ultimate Girls Trip too, but again, that was 3 years ago. I don't remember all the specifics. For Shamia to say Britt didn't seem that upset after is the same thing she did about her not being too worried about Shiloh to go to Miami. Ooh. Ooh. Well, moving right along. Alrighty then. What do I have next? Drew and Kenya. So listen, this whole thing about Kenya said, so Portia is claiming that Kenya said that she got information from Drew. Drew's like that didn't happen. And Kenya has said that it didn't happen. At this point, we can only go by what Kenya said because Kenya wasn't there to defend herself. Drew said it wasn't her. Kenya said it wasn't her. And at this point, Britt is saying the pictures ain't her. So I don't know what motivation Portia would have had to put Drew in it, other than Portia been coming for Drew all season. She said Kenya told her. Portia said Kenya told her. She said Kenya said it. Now, she may have said Britt later on, but Portia said Kenya told her that she got information from Drew. And that's why Kenya, when Kenya did her live, she said, I did not get any information from anybody on any of my castmates. She said she didn't get anything from any of her castmates. So Kenya has said it's not true. Drew said it's not true. We can't believe nothing that's coming out of Britt's mouth. So even if Britt said it, can't believe nothing coming out of Britt's mouth. And I don't know what motivation Portia would have other than she got a thing with Drew right now. I don't know. Somebody lying. True. Both things can't be true. So somebody telling a lie, but I don't think we'll ever know I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of that. And at the end of the day, I don't even think it matters anymore, child. Britt said it ain't her, so then Shamia and Drew get into it, and Shamia brings out this fake bag to prove that Drew is a liar. Now, listen. Let me say this. For me, that was low-hanging fruit. And here's why I'm going to say it was low-hanging fruit. Because a lot of these women on these shows, the shit's not real. Especially the Potomacs and the New Jerseys and the Atlantas, where the women are not as affluent. They make good money, they're comfortable, but they're not as affluent. So to say, oh, well, I know for a fact that Drew's purse is fake. She only paid $175 for it, yada, yada, yada. Y'all saw how Portia was like, I'll take the fake one. I'll take it. You know why Portia was so quick to take it? Because Portia know it is what it is. They carry fake shit all the time. So for Shamia to bring it out and use it as proof that Drew is a liar, all those mofos be lying. All of those, listen, I don't understand why y'all, when I say y'all, I don't mean y'all in the room. Shout out to the 200 people that's here. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I appreciate y'all. I ain't talking about the 200 in the room. I'm just saying in general. I don't know why y'all didn't pick up on that when with Marlo. Marlo let y'all know what it was. Marlo said I rent my stuff out all the time. Matter of fact, I rent my stuff out so much I'm gonna make a business out of it. Like Marlo let y'all know what it is that they do down there. You know? So, girl, was Drew's purse fake? Probably. But they all do it. They all do it. Somebody saw Scotty. Where's Scotty? Hey boo. If Scotty in here, hey boo, you done with your review already? Scotty must have cussed all them out and went home. Baby, if Scotty is in here, he must have cussed everybody out and went home, honey. I know that's right. Hold on. Let me scroll up because I ain't see Scotty. Hold on. Let me see if I see my boo. Hold on. Plus, hold on. Y'all saying something in the chat. Let me see what's going on in this chat here. I don't have my mouse. I can't scroll up, y'all. I can't. This is why I don't use, whenever y'all be talking about why y'all don't use the MacBook. This is why, because listen, this MacBook, I gotta get used to using it. Okay, here we go. All right, hold on, let me see. Okay. The theme for this reunion was he say, she say. It's getting on my nerves because no one has any concrete receipts. Okay. Portia also said the pics were underage. Why would Britt say she was suing Drew? Britt, we don't know. Portia's line, why still push that narrative when Kenya said it was not Drew? Exactly. And Kenya literally said it on her YouTube channel. It wasn't like she said it behind closed doors. She proclaimed it on her YouTube channel. Cynthia spoke when asked about a scenario she wasn't present for at the time. She wasn't aware of the GUN comment. In another interview, she said the crime didn't fit the retaliation. Well, that's her opinion. She can feel like that. I don't think what Kenya did fits what happened either. I don't think that it fits. Don't nobody care about no fake handbag, child. Kenya more disregard the Georgia law. Oh Lord. See, I ain't getting into that again. Oh, you were just, it's okay. It was a typo. Oh, no problem. Look, because Scotty will jump down, but I figured he was probably still doing his live. Okay. I'm sure Shamia carried fakes before she married. She probably carry fakes now. How you think the rich stay rich? Child, bye. Rich people carry. Listen, please don't let the smooth taste fool y'all and y'all think that rich people don't carry fake shit. Rich people get away with carrying fake shit because y'all would think that it's real. See, if y'all see Lakeisha down to the Red Lobster with a Louis Vuitton bag, you be looking at the stitching and the coloring, talking about some, I don't even think that's real. I ain't never seen that at the Louis Vuitton, on the Louis Vuitton website. That ain't real. But let, Khloe Kardashian carry that same bag. Y'all never question whether it's real or fake. Why? Because she Khloe Kardashian. Tyra Banks said it all the time. Tyra Banks said, I would buy my sunglasses out of the Walgreens all the time, and people automatically assume that they were some sort of designer that was gifted to me. And they were like, no, literally they were $10 down to the Walgreens, because why? Kamali says she carries fake Louis luggage for travel. Right. Because why are you going to let the airline beat up your good shit? Girl. On a much smaller scale, I have a big luggage piece, a Coach luggage piece. And again, this is a much smaller scale. It's Coach. But baby, when I tell you I ain't never checked that bag, I was like, I'm not checking this. It's small enough for me as a carry-on, but it's a luggage piece. And And that ain't even Louis Vuitton. But it's real. It's Coach. But I got it. But listen, I got it at clearance. I got it from the outlet in clearance. Okay, I ain't gonna tell nobody no lies. I didn't go to the actual Coach store and buy it. I got it from the Coach outlet, which is a difference. Don't let nobody tell you no different. There's a difference between the Coach store and the Coach outlet. And if you don't believe me, go into an actual Coach store and look at the prices. They not the same. But I got it from a Coach outlet, from the clearance. Let me tell you something. Go to the back. Whenever you go to the Coach outlet, go to the back. Start at the back first. You already in the outlet, okay? So don't act like you too good to go to the clearance section of the outlet. Go to the back first. That's where the clearance shit is. Start at the clearance area and work your way forward. It's the same thing at Michael Kors. The clearance is in the back of the outlet, okay? I think it's the same thing at Tory Burch, but it's in the back. Start at the back and work your way forward, okay? Let me tell you what else you do when you go to the outlet. Now, ask to see their, what's the word they use? Ask to see their damages. Ask to see their damages. Let me tell you something. 2 of my most expensive Coach bags, I probably have about maybe 8 or 9 Coach bags, right? 2 of my most expensive Coach bags came out of the Coach outlet. They were what they considered damaged pieces, but they had come out of the Coach store. So they were that soft leather. One of them looks like a Birkin. Of course, it's not a Birkin, but it's that design. It's that carry design like a Birkin. And the retail price of that bag was like $600 or $700. I got that bag for $100 and something. You know why that bag was marked down? Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. You know why that bag? Because it was marked down to like $200. It was marked down to like 200 and some change. But then, at the outlet, you got the little discount and all that. By the time they finished taking off everything, child, it was $100 and something. You know why they marked that bag down as much as they did? Because the zipper had broken. Let me tell y'all what I did. The zipper was broken. And when I say the zipper was broken, it just didn't have a lip. It didn't have a pull. The little pull tag on the zipper, it had broken. That was all that was wrong with that purse. It wasn't no blemish, mark, nothing. The only thing wrong with that purse was that the zipper broke. Let me tell y'all what really we did. I got that bag. And y'all know what I did? I bought me a Coach keychain. You know how they sell the keychains? They got the keychain. I bought me a Coach keychain for like maybe $20, $30. Baby, I put that keychain on that lip. Boop, boop. Got a zipper. The second one I got, the stitching was coming undone, but the lining on the inside was coming undone. Again, this was like a $600 bag. So the person who paid $600 was like, oh no, we're not playing with no lining coming undone. I bought that purse again, maybe $200 for a $600 bag. And I took it to the cleaners. And I was like, can y'all stitch this? And it's the cleaners I go to all the time, so they know me. I have a relationship with these people, okay? But, so I'm telling you, you go to these places, ask if they have any damages. And then just see because I looked at some of the damages and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is damaged. But some of the damages are not that bad. And trust to believe, they'll sell it to you for $200 rather than having to take a total loss on it. Anyway, sidebar. Sorry about that. Just give me y'all. And it's been a long time it's really been a long time since I bought a purse. I think the last purse I bought might have been a Tory Burch from the outlet. Because I just haven't been. But yeah, ask if they have any damages. Because they don't usually keep them on the floor. They're usually behind the register. And the reason why I found it is because one day I just happened to see, it was like a rack. And I was like, what are these? And the lady was like, oh, those are damages. We're getting ready. Basically, they're getting ready to destroy them. I said, well, what's wrong with it? And she was like, oh, the zipper's missing. So I looked at it and I was like, the zipper's, in my mind, I'm thinking the zipper's not missing. It's just missing a lip. It's just missing the pull. The zipper's not missing. Anyway, moving right along. Right, Chuck. So anyway, moving right along, y'all. All right, so let's get to the Portia and Shamia of it all. So when they went to lunch, Shamia was like, nobody's letting me talk, and I'm going to be heard, and I don't want to talk over each other, talk over people, and no one's letting me talk because everybody's just talking over each other. I'm sorry, have you never been to a reunion before? Girl, you better get in where you fit in and keep it moving. Get in where you fit in. It's called a key. That's what it's called. Okay, thank you. I was calling a lip. Ooh, Lord, sorry, y'all. Thank you. It's called a key. Okay, thank you. So yeah. So with that being said, they come back from lunch, and Portia basically was like, look, Shamia, you were trying to sabotage me. You came on this show and you were trying to sabotage me. And Shamia was like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I wasn't trying to sabotage you. I wouldn't do that to you. But you know what? And at first, when Portia first said it, I was like, child, bye. But then the more Portia talked, the more I said, Chuck, I don't care if that's her first full-time reunion. She been to a reunion. She's seen a reunion. She watched the show. You know what it is. Get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. And let me say this. I'm going to tell y'all where Shamia lost me. Whatever little bit that I was holding on to, and Phil, I know you somewhere up in there, child. I know you somewhere up in there. But whatever little bit that I was holding on to, Shamia, I lost it. And you want to know where I lost it? I'm going to see if any of y'all caught what I caught. Last week, Shamia, you said that Portia was a part of the alliance. You said Portia was a part of the alliance. And at lunch, you and Kelly had a whole conversation making it sound like, right, the allegiance, making it sound like, oh, she was lying. Did you see her foot moving? Did you see her foot moving? But then when you and Portia were arguing, and Portia said something about this, y'all were going out without me. And she said, but I was trying to bring you in. I was trying. She said, I tried to make you a part of the alliance. That is where I got off the train. I was already off the Shamia train, but what little bit that I was holding on to, that was the end of it for me. Girl, last week you said Portia was in the alliance. Tonight you said you were trying to bring Portia in. That's not the same. The shoe hospital, ooh. That's not the same. So now you, and I was one of them. I said, well, I believe she, maybe because her and Portia are such good friends, maybe Portia was part of this reunion, this alliance, and just don't want to admit to being part of the alliance. But the more Portia talk, now Portia might just be better at this because she done been to a few reunions, and maybe she just better at it, baby. But the more Portia talk, the more I was like, ooh, Shamia. Portia said, girl, you told them people that you only had one wedding. Shamia sat there with a straight face and said, I did. We know Shamia had more than one wedding. We all know Shamia had more than one wedding. Shamia had a wedding here, and Shamia had a wedding in Africa. And here's how we know that Shamia had more than one wedding. Because Portia absolutely did not go to Africa and go to Shamia's wedding in Africa. But Portia was a bridesmaid in Shamia's wedding here in America. Girl, what we lying for? We know for a fact you had more than one wedding, girl. You had the tradition, the same thing that Portia did. It's the same thing. Y'all want to keep saying how Portia be copying off of Shamia? Well, she copied off of Shamia. Because Portia did the exact same thing. She had the traditional wedding over in Nigeria, and then she had her wedding here. Girl, it's the same thing. I thought Shamia had a dowry in Atlanta. Whatever she had, Portia was a bridesmaid at it. Now, if there's a bridesmaid at a dowry, then that's what she had. But Portia, whatever she had, Portia was a bridesmaid. A dowry. Then what was Portia a bridesmaid? She was a bridesmaid. They're one and the same. Okay, they're one and the same. A dowry is the same. Okay, it's one and the same. Let me Google it. Let's Google it. Hold on. Let's Google it. Because whatever it was, Portia was a bridesmaid. Now that I know. Let's Google it though. You know the Google machine? Let me see here. Is a dowry the same as a wedding? Let's see here. A dowry is a payment. Well, we know that much. Okay. Dowry contrasts with the related concepts of bride, while brides. Okay, they talking about what they talking about the price of it. Okay, hold on. We know what a dowry is. I guess I asked the wrong question because it answered the question I asked. Let me see. A dowry celebration. Should I say a dowry celebration? A dowry celebration. Hold on. Lord, my fat fingers can't type. Dowry celebration in America. Let's do that. What is a dowry in the United States? Okay. This critical considered cultural store. Okay, modern American side concept of dowry involves significantly within the context contemporary. Okay, on an aspect distinguishing American dowry service quality music. Okay, child, while the traditional notion of dowry may seem outdated or even important to recognize the concept. Okay, furthermore, the concept of dowry in the United States limited to American society continue. Well, conclusion and concept of dowry. They're not answering my question. I should have stuck with my first question when I said celebration. I shouldn't have let Google give me a suggestion. Okay, I want celebration. Celebration in America. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. How dowry traditions relate to modern brides. Is this what I'm looking for? If this ain't it, we're just going to move on. Child, I can't find what I'm looking for. I ain't got time. Hold on, wait a minute. Is this it right here? You aren't entitled to a fancy, extravagant wedding. Oh, that's my phone going to sleep, child. My phone telling me it's time to go to sleep. I haven't turned it off from the school year. It still go to sleep at 10:15. Whatever, child. Y'all know what it is. Anyway. They're both the same. Portia and Shamia. It was 10 years ago, right? Again, Shamia downplayed. Yeah. Can we? Thank you, Cools. Let's just come back around to it. At the end of the day, it was 10 years ago. So even if it was just the wedding in Nigeria and the dowry celebration here, and that's not the same thing, girl, it was 10 years ago. Y'all got 2 whole kids trying to have a 3rd kid. Like, again, at what point is somebody off the hook? And again, if you're not past it and you're not over it, then let it go. Then we don't need to be friends. If you can't get past it, then we don't need to be friends. That's just it. If you can't get past it, if what I did, me not coming to your wedding, hurt you so bad, then we just can't be friends. And let me say this too. Somebody left in my comments last week, and if you listening to from Chat GPT, a multicultural or migrant, or immigrant communities in the U.S. that do dowry traditions, a dowry celebration may occur. I just want to know what a dowry celebration looks like, because Portia was a bridesmaid. And generally when there's a bridesmaid, but thank you, Symmetry. Thank you, baby. when I get off of here and I can play around with my language a little bit more, I'm gonna find the answer I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to that though. If you're not over it, then we can't be friends. Then let it go. If you're not over it, then let it go. If you haven't gotten past, if I hurt you so bad and finish the next one. I'm sorry. And then bridesmaids may be present as guests or supporters, but they are not part of the dowry exchange or similar. You can't make your bridesmaid part of your dowry. So the bridesmaids are there and they're dressed up and stuff, but it's not a wedding. Okay. So maybe Shamia didn't lie. So I can admit, maybe Shamia did not lie. There was not a second wedding here in the United States. There was a dowry celebration where Portia was dressed up as a bridesmaid. Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, I apologize. You didn't lie about that, Shamia, but you lied about that other thing, Shamia. That you lied. I heard that with my own 2 ears. You lied. So I apologize. She didn't lie about that. Okay. But again, it was still 10 years ago. So at this point, I find it disingenuous. And I said it at the time. I find it disingenuous that you are now on this show and you're bringing up that kind of stuff. I have a problem with that. I just have a problem with that. So let me say this. Kim, thank you, because that comment just reminded me of what I was going to say. I went off topic and I got back. Let me say this. Somebody left in my comments last week after my reunion review part 1 and said, stop saying that they're best friends. They are not best friends. I didn't say they were best friends. They said they were best friends. I am repeating what they said. So Kim just said, why are we acting like friendships don't have levels? They do have levels, but the level that they're putting their friendship on is best friends. That's what they call themselves. I didn't make that level up for them. They did. Now, I don't know what everybody else's definition of a best friend is, and I can't tell you what that definition is for you. But they use the term best friends. I didn't. So if they were not best friends, then they shouldn't have been using the term best friends. Now that's what they said. So I can only go by what they called themselves. Now, if they said, listen, we used to be best friends. We're not as close as we used to be, but that's okay. I still love my girl. Then I would have accepted that. But if you go back to the beginning of this season, they were still calling each other best friends at the beginning of this season. I didn't make it up. They said it. Now, relationships do change and relationships can evolve. And sometimes people hang on longer than they should. Absolutely. Check, check, check. But I can only talk about what these women talked about. Now, Shamia, my issue with you is if you was holding on to all this shit for the last 10 years, then I think that you have been very disingenuous in your friendship with Portia, because there's no way that you could really be a truly good friend of Portia and you've been holding on to all of this shit. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. There's no way that you could have truly been a good friend to Portia holding on to all of this shit. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. You can't hold on to that level of animosity and still be a good friend to me. I'm sorry, you just can't. So now we're here. We're now y'all on this show together. And Shamia, I don't know if Shamia got desperate. I'm going to be honest and tell you, I think what it was with Shamia. Here's what it was with Shamia. Shamia got with the other girls and she ran her mouth too much. Now listen. What's the word I want to use? How do I want to phrase this? Because I don't want to say it's okay because it's not okay, right? I don't want to say it's not okay. I don't want to say it's okay because it's not okay. But what I do want to say is people do that, right? You got with those other women and you ran your mouth. I said I would drop the link if we hit our goal. We ain't hit the goal, Phil. I'm sorry, baby. It's okay. I feel like something Portia has done in the past. I really like you in your breaks. Thank you, R and Diva. Thank you. Yeah, Gerald don't want to be on this show. That's why Gerald ain't at the reunion. Somebody said, why ain't Gerald there? Because he don't want to be there. He don't want to be on this show. And I'm sure, because that was something that Portia brought up as well. I remember reading somewhere where Portia said, I don't know where Portia said it, that was part of the reason why it took Shamia so long to get on the show is because Gerald didn't want to film. And I guess there was a compromise. And part of the compromise was probably like, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do that, but I won't do this, I won't do this, and I won't do that. And probably doing the reunion is one of the things he said he wasn't going to do. And clearly Bravo was okay with that. But I really think that's what it was. I think Shamia got along with these women when Portia wasn't around, and they got to running their mouth, they got to drinking, and I think Shamia just got to saying too much. And even what Portia said that I do believe that she showed the text messages because I know that those were my text messages. Yeah, she showed them text messages. She absolutely did. Now, when she showed those text messages in relationship to when her and Portia kissed and made up at that restaurant, that's a different conversation. But yeah, she showed them text messages. How else would Britt have seen them? And how would Britt know specifically what was said? So tell me why. Who voted for the person who deported him? I don't know who that is. Diamond? D-I? Oh, you mean Simon. How can Simon vote? If he's not a citizen, how can he vote? I mean, I don't understand all of the different layers of citizenship and immigration and green card and visas and stuff. But I didn't think he was a citizen, so how could he vote? But whatever. Shamia talked too much and it bit her in the butt. Exactly. It doesn't matter when she showed the text messages. That's a boundary that she shouldn't have crossed. Exactly. I agree. Yeah, I didn't think he could vote. So how can he vote? Now, do I think he's a Trump supporter? I think, yeah, I do. I mean, but can he be a Trump? But he can be a Trump supporter from Dubai or wherever the hell else he is right now. Yes, Ashley on Real Housewives of Potomac was able to film without Michael when they were married. Make sense. Yeah, Ashley was able to film without Michael. But Michael was on the show in the beginning. Michael was on the show. And a matter of fact, Michael was on the show a little bit too much in the beginning. Michael stopped filming. Remember, Michael stopped filming after he got in trouble. That's when Michael stopped filming. So I don't think that's the same. Michael stopped filming after he had that lawsuit and after the cameraman accused him of being inappropriate. So I think that, to me, that's different. I don't think Michael voluntarily stopped filming. And then after that lawsuit got dropped, him and Ashley were going through the divorce. So that's different to me. That's different. Juan didn't show up to reunions, and that's why Robin got fired. Remember, y'all, Robin got 2 extra seasons because of Monique. When Monique quit the show, that bought Robin 2 extra seasons. So Robin would have been fired after, what was that, season 5? Robin was supposed to be fired season 5, but when Monique quit, when Monique decided not to come back for season 6, they decided to keep Robin. So yeah. But you're right. But Juan Robin got away with some stuff too. I think to a certain extent, again, I think there's a difference between what you say when you are trying to get on the show and you're going through your contract negotiations versus what actually happens when filming starts, right? So it's the same thing with Phaedra. Phaedra was like, oh yeah, I'm dating this doctor, da-da-da-da-da. And then once filming started, miraculously her and the doctor broke up. Now, same thing. Yeah. I'm sure Michael agreed to film. I'm sure Juan agreed to film. He agreed to do all of that until the narrative went against him, until people was out here, telling their business, until their bankruptcy, and him allegedly cheating and him not loving Robin, and he got caught in that hot mic. Yeah, he ain't come. That's why I do respect the husbands that do show up when they're on the hot seat. I respect it. That's not an easy thing to do. And you ain't signed up for all of that. And they don't get paid. Outside of Jersey, those husbands don't get paid. So I can understand. I mean, I respect the ones that show up, especially the ones that are in the hot seat, Okay. That hot mic scene was crazy. It was. It was. So yeah. So anyway, that was part two. I think Juan's legal trouble played a role too. Yeah, that was in later seasons though. Not Robin was withholding information about their life. Had nothing to do with Monique though. Okay. Kevin Reynolds, I don't think you understood what I said. I don't think you understood what I said. And it's okay. So I'm gonna say it one more time because I don't think you understood what I said. What I said was at the end of season, was that season 5 that Candace and Monique got into that altercation? Was that season 5? Okay. At the end of season 5, Robin didn't get a contract. Monique did. Robin did not get a contract. Monique did. After the reunion filmed, Monique decided she didn't want to come back. She told Bravo she changed her mind and she wasn't coming back. As a result of Monique quitting so late, because remember, they start, by the time we see the reunion, they're literally getting ready to start filming. Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to start filming next week. Literally, they start filming. So as a result of it being so late in the situation, when Monique quit, they decided to bring Robin back rather than try to vet somebody new. Now listen, Kevin, you might be new here, and that's okay. Now I'm not talking to Kevin Reynolds. You know you're not new here, baby. I'm talking about the other Kevin. You might be new here. You may not, but I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. Monique did sign her contract. She said herself she signed that contract. She absolutely signed the contract. She signed the contract. And the night of that part where Chris stood up and that episode, the way that episode was edited, and when she saw how the reunion was edited, Monique emailed Bravo and asked Bravo, told Bravo she changed her mind, she wasn't coming back. Bravo could have penalized Monique because she had signed her contract. Yes, she did. I'm telling y'all what I know, not what I heard. It's okay, Symmetry. It's okay. I'm telling y'all what I know, not what I heard. And y'all ain't got to believe me. I'm not talking about you, Symmetry. I'm just saying. That's interesting. Never heard that story before. That's fine. You must be new to my channel because I've been telling that story for 4 years. So. And Monique said it as well. And I know some of y'all don't like Monique and y'all don't agree with Monique. But yeah. So even if you go back to that, Robin didn't announce that she was coming. If you go back to, you would probably have to scroll back, but if you want to, you can. If you go back to after season 5, Robin was the last one to announce on her Instagram that she was coming back. All the other ladies had announced that they were coming back, or we knew they were coming back. We didn't find out Robin was coming back until after everybody else had confirmed they were coming back. Robin was the last one to confirm. So with that being said, Robin can thank Monique for 2 extra seasons on the show. She said on her Instagram live, part 3 of the 5 of season 5 reunion. Not Robin blocked you, child. You was probably cutting up. Potomac is already filming. Yeah, Monique is back as a friend of this season, and they've been filming. They've been filming for about 3 months. They started filming in May, I think. I know they were filming in June because Monique. That's when we found out Monique was back as a friend of, because they were at Pride, and that was the first weekend. No, whatever weekend that was, the DC Pride. Whenever they were at DC Pride World, DC was that Memorial Day weekend. DC Pride is Memorial Day weekend, and then World Pride was that next weekend. I think they were at World Pride that they were filming. It was either DC Pride or World Pride. But anyway, they've been filming since like April or May. I thought it was public knowledge. Monique, in fact, I mean, again, that was years ago, and some people were watching it, some people weren't, some people were, paying attention, and a lot of people just didn't believe Monique. A lot of people thought Monique was lying. So, is Kenya coming back for season 17? Well, the door is wide open at this point because now that Britt has said that the pictures weren't even her. I mean, I don't know if they're going to bring her back, but the door is certain. It seemed like they left the door open for her to come back. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, let me get off here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. So, for those of y'all who are looking for Benji, there he is. Hold on, let me let him come up because he sleeps. So I don't want to wake him up. Hold on, let me see if I can. There he go. There he is, y'all. For those of y'all looking for Benji, there he is. But he sleep. I don't want to wake him up. Even though as soon as I stand up, he gonna sit up like, what's going on? As soon as I stand up, he gonna look up. But there he is. Y'all hear him snoring? All right, y'all. So let me get off of here. I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Right, Jasmine's because she looks just like Jasmine. I mean, he looks just like Jasmine, don't he? Oh, sweet dog. He is. He's a sweetie. Oh, look, you hear y'all talking about him. Look, he woke up. Look. Benji. Benji. He sleep. His eyes are open, but look. He's still asleep. Oh, there he go. But he's yawning. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.